On March 19th, 2026, the world paused. Chuck Norris, the man who seemed untouchable, the hero of countless action films, quietly passed away. There was no dramatic final round, no cinematic showdown, just a brief announcement from his family. And yet, the silence that followed was deafening. For decades, Chuck Norris wasn't just a fighter on screen. He was a living myth. The internet exploded with jokes and facts portraying him as invincible, but behind that legendary image was a man who had known fear, failure, and loss intimately. He didn't become unstoppable to impress anyone. He became unstoppable to escape the shadows of his childhood. Born on March 10th, 1940, in Ryan, Oklahoma, Chuck's early life was anything but heroic. His father, Ray, returned from war not with pride but with bitterness, laced with alcohol and anger, creating a home filled with fear. His mother, Wilma, was the fragile anchor in a storm of broken furniture, slamming doors, and silent tears. Young Chuck was thin, shy, and often humiliated by peers and even authority figures. There was a night, at just 14, when he stood trembling in front of his mother holding a hammer, not out of courage, but because survival demanded it. Those experiences didn't crush him. They forged an unspoken promise to himself. He would never be powerless again. At 18, the military became his first battlefield. Stationed in South Korea, a world away from Oklahoma, he faced not just foreign streets or an unfamiliar language, but himself. His first judo lesson ended with him thrown to the ground, echoing every moment he had ever felt weak. But he didn't quit. Training under Master Kim, he turned every bruise into determination, every failure into fuel. By the time he returned to the U.S., Chuck wasn't just stronger physically. He had learned to stand tall, to face fear, and to fight for control over his life. Success didn't come overnight. Early tournaments handed him defeat after defeat. Names like Joe Louis and Tony Tulliners dominated him, but he didn't let losses define him. Each failure was dissected, each weakness attacked relentlessly in the dojo late into the night. The victories came, eventually. By 1968, Chuck had become the professional karate champion for 6 consecutive years, earning respect and finally seeing the reflection of the man he wanted to be. From there, his world expanded. Martial arts schools, legendary students, and eventually Hollywood. The fight scene with Bruce Lee in The Way of the Dragon didn't just showcase his skill. It introduced millions to a hero who was disciplined, controlled, and unshakably human. But life outside the spotlight carried its own battles. The loss of his younger brother in Vietnam, the death of a close friend from a brain tumor, and a complicated personal life left scars unseen by fans. His marriage to Diane Holacek crumbled under the pressures of fame, and the later health struggles of his second wife, Gina, demanded a devotion far greater than any fight scene ever required. Chuck spent millions, traveled continents, and gave up career opportunities to be present, learning that true strength is measured in love, endurance, and patience. Even in his 80s, Chuck's life was defined by discipline and quiet resilience. At Lone Wolf Ranch in Texas, he trained, guided students, and cherished family moments, mowing the lawn, playing with his children, sharing meals. The invincible warrior the world knew was, in private, a man of love and reflection. When he passed, there was no epic finale, only the reminder that even legends are human. Chuck Norris leaves behind more than films or martial arts accolades. He leaves a story of transformation, resilience, and the courage to confront fear itself. When you think of Chuck Norris, remember this: the greatest battles he ever fought were never on screen. They were fought in silence, in the moments no one saw, against weakness, loss, and the quiet fear of being powerless. And in that, he became truly unbeatable.